Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Monday, the start of another week, and the day that Arsenal have finally confirmed the signing of Gabriel Jesus. Deal we all know has been done for a long time. We've just been waiting for the official announcement, and it dropped at 8:30 a.m. this morning. So no more questions. Why aren't Arsenal announcing Gabriel Jesus? It is done. And the usual stuff, quotes from everyone, from the player, from Arteta, from Edu. And really happy for Arsenal. This is the player they wanted, it's the striker they wanted, and they have got their man. So we'll talk a little bit about that in today's video. Discuss Lisandro Martinez as well, a bit of pre-season stuff towards the end. Usual apologies in case you start hearing drilling, banging, hammering. Neighbours still having his stuff done. Going to be going on for about another couple of weeks, I think. So I'm probably going to be apologising for the next, 10 videos, something like that. I might have to apologise, but I've got to get it done. Anyway, so Gabriel Jesus, he's signed. This is what Mikel Arteta had to say. I'm very excited. The club has done a tremendous job to recruit a player of his stature. I know Gabriel personally very well, and we all know him well from his time in the Premier League and being really successful here. This is a position that's been on our radar for a long time now, and we have managed to get a player that we all wanted. So I'm really happy. If you've seen a video already doing the rounds of Jesus when he arrived at Arsenal, you could see him and Arteta together. That relationship's just so clear and obvious. The two of them very much get on. Worked together at Manchester City, worked very well at Manchester City. Gabriel Jesus has been speaking about Arteta. He said, I believe 100% in Mikel. He helped me a lot at Man City. We would always stick together after training sessions and do finishing or something like that. He's a very intelligent guy. So if he knows something, he can teach me and the young players. So I think that relationship has been so key to Arsenal getting this deal done for Jesus. He was wanted by other clubs. This was far from a one-horse race for Arsenal. There are other clubs in the mix for a player of Jesus' quality, understandably so. And Arsenal have got their man. Now, why did they sign him? Why was it Jesus over everyone else? Because Arsenal have obviously sounded out a lot of forwards over the last year or so. This is always a position that we're going to have to really work hard to sign someone this summer. So why did they focus all their attention on Jesus? Well, he's very much a player that ticks all the boxes when it comes to the sort of striker that Arsenal are looking for. He can play number 9, which is key because he will play number 9 in the sort of 4-3-3 system that Arsenal operate. So you'll have, Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, whatever, on the flanks, but it'll be Gabriel Jesus as that number 9. And Arsenal wanted a player who was going to be really sort of stay in that penalty area a lot and just being in around that penalty area, sniff out the goals. That's something they haven't had in a long time. Obviously, Orba was there and he was that type of striker, but it all started to go a little bit wrong with football. We know that. And Lacazette, when he came into the side, he just didn't do that. He dropped in deep. There was just no presence in and around the penalty area, and Arsenal suffered as a result of that in terms of the goals they scored and how they were scoring goals. And when you look at Jesus, I think all 58 of his Premier League goals for Manchester City have come inside the box. So they're going to have a real penalty box presence there, the fox in the box, whatever you want to call it, that sort of thing. But it's not just about that. It was about what Jesus brings to the side on a whole. He fits in absolutely perfectly. When Arsenal sat down, Arteta, Edu, the recruitment team all sat down and they were kind of working out exactly what they wanted from the new striker they were going to bring in. It was all about, yes, penalty box presence, goals in the penalty area, but it was also about the pressing, the work ethic, the mentality, the linking up, the things that Lacazette did very, very well. That all needed to come into play as well, because linking up with those two wide players who are going to come inside and hopefully score plenty of goals off the wings, a la Martinelli, Saka, whoever, was going to be really, really key. And Jesus does that very, very well. His assist record is very good. Obviously, his goals record is very good, but he links up really well. I mean, Pep Guardiola has called him the best in the world when it comes to being pressing forward. And if Guardiola is saying something like that, you're signing a very, very good player in that regard. And when you look at Jesus's numbers, I think a lot of people have said, he's only ever scored 14 goals in the Premier League in a season. That's the most he scored. Is that good enough? And it's an understandable comment, but I think he didn't start that many games, obviously, at Manchester City. When you look at how many he started, I think he started 99 Premier League games I've got here for City. He scored 53 goals in that time and set up another 23 in 99 games. I mean, that's very impressive. His direct goal involvement since coming to City in 2016 was one direct goal involvement every 107 minutes. Only 6 players have got a better record that since the Premier League began in 1992. So, he is a very, very good player. And his numbers certainly back that up. Yes, he's been playing in a fantastic Manchester City side that create loads of chances. I know that. I understand that's going to be a lot more difficult for him at Arsenal to sort of continue with the sort of numbers he's produced at Manchester City. But still, it's very, very impressive. And that's why Arsenal signed him. It was about being that penalty box presence, but it was also about his link-up play, his work ethic, his pressing. Everything that Arteta wants in a forward is what Gabriel Jesus will bring. And that's why they're all so, delighted to sign him. There's been lots of talk about, where is he going to play? Is he going to be the number 9, or could he potentially play out wide? I mean, he has been brought in to be Arsenal's number 9. That's why he's been given that shirt number for a start, and he will be the central figure in that attacking 3. He'll share it with Nketiah, obviously, and Nketiah will have a big role to play this season. But, when everyone's fit, everyone's available, it will be Gabriel Jesus at the top of the 3, and then whoever on the flanks. Saka, you would think, certainly, and then Martinelli, Smith-Rowe. I mean, he was saying here, about what his position is. Gabriel was asked about it on his Arsenal.com interview after signing. If you haven't seen that, go and give it a watch. He says, I'm a number 9. I'm a striker, and I thank God every day that I can play in 3 or 4 different positions, but I think my position is number 9. My best quality is being on the pitch to help with or without a ball, but of course I'm a striker and I have to score goals. I've come here to score goals, to help with assists and my work, but obviously I want to score goals. So this is a big reason why Jesus wanted Arsenal as well, is that he's kind of always had to play second fiddle at City. He was behind one of the greatest strikers the Premier League's ever seen in Sergio Aguero for so long. And even when Aguero left, then Pep was kind of doing the whole false 9 thing. And, Jesus was playing, but he wasn't starting week in, week out. He wasn't the main man. He's never been the main man. He's got that opportunity now at Arsenal. And that's why it was really key. He had the relationship with Arteta. He had the relationship with Edu as well. And, he was going to be the number 9. And all of that has come together, and that's how Arsenal have got this deal done for Jesus. And you can just see how happy everyone is. I mean, Edu's been speaking about it. He says, we are delighted we have secured the transfer of Gabriel. Everyone knows football well, knows the quality of Gabriel Jesus. He's a player we've admired for a long time. He is 25, an established Brazil international who has consistently demonstrated that he's a player at the very highest level. We look forward to seeing him join up with his new teammates in a new season. We all welcome Gabriel to Arsenal. This is a big deal for Arsenal. There's no doubt about it. When they missed out on Champions League football last season, everyone was looking at, are they going to be able to attract top caliber type players? And Gabriel Jesus is a top caliber player. I think, it's an impressive deal to pull off, and I think everything had to come together. Like I said, I think Arsenal were in a good position by the fact they had Arteta and they had Edu in some respects as well, who also had their relationship. But the fact that Arteta and Jesus have worked so closely together in the past was clearly a big thing. And look, Arsenal's a massive club as well, and you've got this London sway. There's Brazilians already at Arsenal as well, in Martinelli and Gabriel centre back. So that's all helped, and it's all come together, and it's just a fantastic signing for Arsenal. We've waited a long time. I know that the announcement was delayed, but it's come out now, and it's a nice way to start the week on a Monday morning, getting a new transfer through the door, isn't it? And I'm really happy with it, and I'm excited to see how this is going to go. Arsenal needed to sign a striker. They had to get someone. There's an argument they needed to sign 2 strikers. I don't think that's going to happen now. Obviously, Nketiah stayed. It'll be him and Jesus sort of swapping over and playing that role across the positions. You can play Martinelli as there as well. There could be obviously another wide player coming in who can also play at number 9. We'll wait and see what happens with that one. But they needed a proper figure to lead the line, the new main man, and they've got him. And they've got him pretty early as well, which is a good thing. It hasn't dragged on throughout the summer. They've got him before all the internationals will come back for pre-season. So when he comes back, he'll slot straight in. He'll have the whole pre-season tour of the States and everything, and we'll be ready to hit the ground running, which is great to see. And it's an exciting one. Let me know what you guys think. How happy are you with Gabriel Jesus signing for Arsenal? Is this the one? Is this a type of signing you can see taking Arsenal to the next level? Let me know what you guys think and how many goals you think he might score, that sort of thing, in the comments below. So that's the news today, that Gabriel Jesus has signed for Arsenal. Okay, so elsewhere, when it comes to transfers, Lisandro Martinez, that rumbles on. I wrote a piece on Saturday for Goal on that, sort of looking at the latest when it comes to Martinez. Arsenal very much still in the running for him, as far as I'm aware. They want him. They're waiting to try and agree something of Ajax and then get the opportunity to talk to the player. The only issue, clouding this all is obviously Manchester United and Erik ten Hag, who used to be manager of Martinez at Ajax. They are pushing for him as well. My understanding of the whole situation, is that I know everyone's saying, "Oh, it's United," but from what I understand, Martinez is very open to Arsenal as well. He really likes the ideas that he's been told that what would, if he came in, how he'd be used by Mikel Arteta, and he likes Arteta and he's very keen on that project. I have also been told that the Ten Hag thing would probably give United an advantage just because it's his old manager, he knows him well, and that sort of thing. I think we all have to accept that, but he hasn't closed the door on Arsenal as far as I'm being told, which is a good thing, I suppose. But I think that nagging doubt in the back of your mind is probably that United might just be ahead of Arsenal in this one. But no one's agreed a fee yet with Ajax, so we'll see how that rumbles on over the next week or so. I think Ajax are in a very, very strong position. They're still maintaining that they don't really want to sell. Obviously, they're going to maintain that stance to try and get the most money. They've got two Premier League giants battling for one player. So they're in who they don't really aren't under any pressure to sell because they've already made some money this summer. So they're in a very strong position. They'll obviously try and drag it out for as long as possible. Try and get both clubs to bid more and make it a bit of a bidding war, that sort of thing. Martinez currently on holiday, I've been told by someone very close to him. He is very aware of the situation, obviously, and he's carefully watching it all. At the moment, he's taking a bit of a sort of backward stance on it and just watching what's going on from afar. But he is absolutely nailed on, determined to move to the Premier League this summer one way or the other. And if Ajax don't start to move things forward a little bit, as far as I'm aware, he will start very much trying to push for this move to either Arsenal or Manchester United to try and get it done this summer. He's desperate to sign. He's desperate to make the move to the Premier League, and he will make that very much known to Ajax as the summer drags on if they continue not to accept anything. I mean, they'll have a figure. No one's hit it yet. There's two bids on the table. United, I was told, made a formal bid on Friday for him. There haven't been a definitive answer from Ajax on any of the latest bids. Like I said, they're still hoping that they can drag it out a little bit more and get some more money on the table for Martinez. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. It's an interesting one in terms of the amount of money Arsenal are willing to spend on him. When you look at the positions they've got in that, the players they've got in that defence, you obviously want really strong competition for places in the squad. That's absolutely understandable. I've talked about it before with the whole sort of the potential for Rafinha coming in the Saka's position. But you kind of look at it and think, guys, is that? Do you really want to go that high for someone when you've got Tierney at left back, you've got Gabriel at left centre back? So I'm kind of a bit torn with it, really, in terms of should Arsenal really be going that high and potentially getting in a big bidding war with Manchester United for a player who's not necessarily going to come in and be an absolute nailed-on starter? I'm not sure, but again, like I said, obviously you want competition, you want the very best players to really push everyone on. If Arsenal want to get to the very, very top, you want top competition through the squad. My only thing is, I think from my point of view, as long as that money, if Arsenal were to go on and end up winning the battle for Martinez and he does sign, I think the key to it for me in terms of how I'd view that transfer is like, as long as they don't spend that money and they means they can't go out and potentially improve at central midfield or spend extra bit of money and get a top quality wide player in, as long as that it doesn't affect those potential deals, then I'm very happy with it because he looks like a quality player. But if it does impact those deals and take some money away from the budget, makes it difficult to potentially go out and sign a wide attacker who I think Arsenal very much need to add to their ranks, I'd be a bit like, I'm not sure about it. But wait and see. Let me know what you guys think about that. Okay, pre-season tour time. Well, I suppose, would you call it a tour? Pre-season trip, maybe pre-season training camp for the non-internationals who have been back for pre-season since last week. They are heading off to Germany today ahead of Arsenal's first game of pre-season, or first proper game of pre-season, which will take place in Germany on Friday against Nuremberg. They did play at the weekend in a behind closed doors friendly against Ajax. Got Ajax on the mind, against Ipswich at London Colney. They won that 5-1. Eddie Nketiah scoring a hat-trick in that. Two completely different teams. Sort of seniors played in the seniors who are there at the moment played in the first half. I think it was like Rob Holding, Hector Bellerin played at right back. Leno was in goal. I think you had obviously Nketiah, Reece Nelson, Pepe played, Thomas Partey played. Players like that were involved in the first half. Second half, completely different team. All the kids like Bettino, Hutchinson, Salah, all those sort of players came on. Balogun, who scored the 5th goal. And that will be the squad that flies off to Germany today. So you're going to have a mix of the senior players and plenty of youngsters who are going to go over there as well for this training camp. Starts today. They're going to have a couple of things, I think, sort of commercial things with Adidas over there. And then they're playing the game on Friday, flying straight back after that. And then they fly off to the States at the start of next week. And that's when all the international players come back. So Gabriel Jesus, obviously. Saka, Ramsdale, or Odegaard, those sort of players. We'll wait and see if Fabio Vieira goes. Obviously, he's been pictured having this protective boot on him. He's at Sopwell House, which is a big hotel where a lot of Arsenal's new signings stay while they sort of get their houses sorted out. And he was pictured with a fan, and he had a protective boot on, and everyone got very, very worried about that to such an extent that he clearly got lots of messages on social media. So he tweeted, or he put it on Instagram, I think, that he was fine. He said it's just a precaution. That's what Arsenal are saying as well. And he said that he will absolutely be ready to return and join up with his teammates during pre-season. So fingers crossed that is correct, because I think obviously you want to see as much of the new signing as you can during pre-season so he can acclimatise and get ready for the Premier League. So hopefully, as he and Arsenal say, it is just a precaution. We will wait and see on that. All right, everyone, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time. As always, do have a very good day. We've had a good start to the week with the signing of Gabriel Jesus. Keep your eyes peeled. If anything else happens, you'll find it all on my videos here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course at goal.com. Have a good day, everyone. I'll speak to you soon.